Hello, thank you for joining us. My name is Stephen McHugh. I'm Associate Director for State and District Partnerships with the College Board. I want to welcome you to our introduction on official SAT practice using Khan Academy. It's delivered in part by the College Board and the Idaho State Department of Education. And we're excited to share with you some new things that are being introduced this year with regard to Khan Academy and College Board. So to start with, we wanted to make sure that we share with you the website address to access Khan Academy's official SAT practice, and that is satpractice.org. And we also wanted to let you know that there have been some really encouraging signs in the first 2 years of this program, this partnership. We launched our partnership with Khan Academy last year, and in the meantime, just under 2 years now, we have seen really significant gains in student skills, and we're excited to share with you some data to support that assessment. As you see here, to date there have been 4 million unique users of the official SAT practice at Khan Academy platform, 1.5 million of whom have linked their College Board account with Khan Academy, and 40% of test takers report using official SAT practice at this time. We've also seen about a 10% decline in commercial test prep usage. That is not something we necessarily intended to accomplish, but when you think about the for-fee services that are available in the public, the fact that Khan Academy is a world-class service that is free of charge certainly lends an explanation to that result. I also want to share with you briefly here this Wall Street Journal excerpt that shows a specific individual in the Camden City Schools in Camden, New Jersey, who was dismayed by his junior year PSAT score of 1020 out of 1600. So he used Khan Academy's free services and videos, and also took several SAT exams, and he managed to increase his score to 1,320 points, which happened to be the top score in his district, and also launched him into the Ivy League. So that was an increase in score of about 300 points, having taken the practice tools at Khan Academy and used them effectively. So that's just an example of an anecdote that we thought would be of interest to you, to show you how successful some of these students have been using this tool and what's possible when it's applied well. For more details, we have a study that is going to be concluded in 2018, but we have released some preliminary results already. It's on the College Board's website, and you can see in this slide here a summary of those findings. And it shows the number of points gained from PSAT and NMSQT to the SAT, which has been correlated to the hours spent practicing. And it's showing you that typically when students take the SAT, having first taken the PSAT, they have a score increase between those two assessments of about 60 points. For students who have used the official SAT practice at Khan Academy for 6 to 8 hours, their score has increased from the PSAT to the SAT by about 90 points on average. And as you see here, a 20 to 22 hour practice on SAT's Khan Academy tool leads to an increase in score of about 115 points on average between the PSAT and the SAT. So clearly there's a lot of gain that many students are seeing in their score results, and we're very excited about this data. It is clearly showing to us that what we had intended to accomplish with this resource is in fact coming through. And as you can see here, this study was based on 250,000 students in the class of 2017, and of that 250,000, 16,000 saw point gains of 200 points or more, so a substantial number. We also wanted to share with you a couple of demographic details from that study. And what you see here is that when accounting for race, family income, and parental education, what we're seeing is a pretty roughly equal usage of SAT practice by these groups represented. And that's really, really exciting and interesting to see, because this is not a test preparation resource that is only for the wealthy, for example, or only for certain demographics. This is a resource that all students should have access to and all students should experience. And as you can see here, we're excited by the fact that we have a pretty proportionate usage rate across the board at this time, and that's very encouraging news. When it comes to active users, we have about 200,000 active users in any given week. Of course, that number does increase. It gets a bit higher leading up to an exam. And the average time spent by a user in a given week is 44 minutes. So as you can see, you can clearly, in a very short amount of time, manage to get that few hours of practice leading to those score gains that we noted earlier. Finally, a couple words here from a student. This is Camilla, who's a senior at Millikan High School in Long Beach, California, who saw an increase in her score of 300 points. And as you see here in her quote, she realizes that the more work she put into this tool, the more she would get out of it. And that's exactly the message we're hoping students will understand. We're trying to provide them the resources they need to be successful, and we encourage them to take full advantage of those resources. So a few words about Khan Academy as it currently stands. We have an opportunity for all students who have taken the PSAT to link their College Board account that houses their electronic scores for the PSAT with Khan Academy's website. And if they choose to do so, and that is a voluntary determination, but if they choose to do so, they will actually have Khan Academy prepare for them a customized practice plan based specifically on the skills they need to work on and develop the most from their PSAT test experience. So it's a wonderful way to get a real personalized practice plan just for that individual student. Of course, students who don't choose to link their accounts can still use official SAT practice at Khan Academy. We have a series of diagnostic quizzes housed there that can serve as a substitute for their linking of the PSAT, College Board, and Khan Academy accounts. So that's certainly something many students have taken advantage of and find very useful as well. But when you compare the length of those diagnostics to a PSAT exam, the PSAT is much more thorough in its assessment, and that's why we do encourage any students who are interested to link those accounts and take advantage of the feedback that we provide them based on their test experience. When it comes to preparation, of course, for an SAT or any of the SAT suite of assessments, we, of course, want to remind you that the best preparation is long-term in nature, and it has to do with, of course, classroom learning that's aligned to the Idaho's academic standards. And we certainly want to make sure that students are working hard throughout their high school career to make sure that they're truly testing the correct skill sets and ready for college and career at the end of that program. For any information you'd like to receive about a College Board's data privacy policy or the Khan Academy's data privacy policy, you can see the following links there and actually read more about those if you're interested. Upgrades. Some recently added features and resources to the Khan Academy platform include live instruction for the SAT. Sal Khan himself is hosting a series of workshops that he posts to YouTube in the week prior to every SAT administration. So that's something that a lot of students have found useful and intriguing, and we certainly encourage you to take advantage of some of those live sessions if you wish. We also have a series of educator best practices that are now posted on our website to support students in the use of Khan Academy's resources and educators in their goal to assist students in improving their skills, and we certainly would like to take full advantage of those resources as well. Additionally, there are more practice tests housed at Khan Academy now than ever before for the SAT. We now have 8 complete, full-length official SAT practice tests available at the official SAT practice site at Khan Academy. So 8 tests that students can use throughout their study period between the PSAT, for example, and the SAT to check in and get a sense of how much their skills are improving and how that's reflected in their score on the exams. And finally, we have something called guided essay practice. At the Khan Academy official SAT practice website, we have 3 essay prompts available for students to use. And in those essay prompts, students can actually write their written responses much like they would on an SAT essay, and through a partnership we have, we actually can artificially use artificial intelligence, that is, to score those essays immediately. So what we do is we provide instant feedback to students in 3 areas: reading, writing, and analysis, to actually give them a sense of how strong their essay response is. And that guided essay practice is one that a lot of students have found extremely useful in developing their writing skills. And I'll share more with you what that looks like in the next slide here. For example, this is a piece from one of those 3 essays. This is a prompt that was a piece of text written by Martin Luther King Jr., and based on that text, the student was asked to write a written response in an essay format analyzing the author's argument. And in this case, you can see we have several items highlighted in the scoring of this essay, and the feedback is provided again in 3 areas: reading, writing, and analysis. In this case, they highlighted a line from the introduction and have given a green check mark indicating that it's a strong introduction, a strong use of writing skills in that particular excerpt, and they provide feedback, both positive and negative, when the case may arise, so that students know when they need to perhaps change their writing and improve their point. So this is a way for students to actually get instantaneous feedback and actually rewrite their essay to the point where it becomes a very strong response to the prompt. Classroom coaching using Khan Academy. This is something that individuals and educators across the country have been asking for since the launch of our partnership last year, and we're excited to announce that it is now available on Khan Academy. And these coaching resources are really designed to help educators really monitor the progress of their students and assist them in developing the skills that Khan Academy is trying to improve. So you have things here at the official SAT practice resource, including things like lesson plans for teachers. You also have an opportunity to view recent activity by your students, and that includes, for example, when their next SAT test is scheduled, so we can create a practice plan leading up to that test. We also have an opportunity for teachers there to see recommended skills for practice for their entire class as a whole, as well as individual students. And they'll also get some notification as to whether or not the student has linked their College Board account with Khan Academy, indicating that that student is now using a personalized practice plan based on their PSAT scores. So in addition to that, we have individual progress where teachers and other educators can sign up as a coach and view the questions that the student is working on currently to develop their skills, monitor their answer choices, and see the correct responses and get a sense of how that student is progressing along the way. So on top of that, we have also access to practice test scores. So a number of ways that teachers and educators can actually see how well their students are progressing from the time they started the use of this tool to the time they take their next SAT. I'm going to share with you a few steps now to help you, if you're interested in using this coaching tool, create launch the tool and get set up to monitor your students' work. So you'll go to, again, to satpractice.org, and in the coach dashboard, you will select that, and actually from there, you'll be able to add a new class. So you may already have existing classes. If so, we'll come back to that in a second, but you can add a new class. Some of you have experience with Khan Academy in your core curriculum, and that's certainly great. This will be a selection of a class specifically to use the SAT practice resources here as well. So you'll enter a class name or import it from the Google Classroom, and from there you will select SAT as an addition, and of course you may already have other subjects highlighted there as well. But once you select SAT, you can then add students using the code that's provided by Khan Academy. You can import those students from the Google Classroom you're using, or you can send an email invitation to students as well, and we'll share with you what that looks like in just a moment. So the last step here is to click under the class coach dashboard and see the SAT tab there to view student progress. So we'll give you some examples of what you'll see here over the next few slides. This is a home slide here looking at overall class performance here and skill sets that are being addressed. If you're adding an SAT to an existing class, you can click on the class name and the settings and simply set them up accordingly based on the same instruction we just provided. This is an example of the SAT invitation that students will receive from Khan Academy to go ahead and provide permission to their educator, their teacher, their coach to view their performance and progress on the Khan Academy official SAT practice tool. So students will need to accept the SAT sharing agreement, and then they will see this message here, and they will accept that they give permission to share their SAT activity with their coach, and then that will be reflected in their dashboard. Once you're in the tab, the SAT tab, you'll be able to see entire class views such as this, where you'll see, for example, SAT skill sets, the number of students per skill level that your classroom is showing, and you'll be able to view details and browse lessons this way. So there's a number of different things. This is a math example that's highlighted here, but a number of different ways you can actually monitor your student skill levels. You can view details and browse lessons here as well, of course, by clicking on the button we just showed you. And here you'll be able to see some of those lesson plans specific to subject areas that SAT covers. And you'll be able to, again, monitor the use of some of these skill sets within the disciplines that we feature. Here's a breakdown for an individual class that a teacher has set up as a coach, showing a few things by student. And you'll see, for example, here we have their schedule for practice. In this case, Betsy has decided she's going to complete 200 practice questions on the SAT practice tool. She has thus far completed 26, so she's beginning progress on her goal. You can also see whether or not she has scheduled to take any practice tests and when those tests are scheduled. You can also, from that point on, see the number of days left until her next SAT test as well, which would be the goal she's striving for. So we'll monitor that calendar for her, remind her of her scheduled practice commitments, and encourage her to complete the goals that she set for herself. There's also on the far right column here an indication as to whether or not you'll see each student has connected and linked their College Board account with Khan Academy. Again, as a reminder, it's when they link those accounts that Khan Academy provides those personalized practice plans based on the PSAT scores that they're sending. So here we have another view in which teachers can see notifications about student progress as well. So they'll get information about, again, practice test students have completed, or the plans they have to practice for the coming week, as well as a summary of their past activity the prior week. So as you can see as we browse through this, there's a number of different pieces here, question by question, skill by skill, as well as overall as to whether or not your class is performing at a high rate with regard to some of these skills, and what exactly the practice has included for the previous week. A couple notes about student practice. We have a number of resources here that we would certainly like students to be aware of, and we hope that you'll share these with them. For example, we have some sample study group ideas at this particular site, sat.org/study group, that we have found very effective in the past and would encourage you to share with your students. student resources for the SAT and PSAT assessments are also here at sat.org/K12. And of course, we have a number of instructional videos on Khan Academy at the College Board's YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/College Board. On top of that, we have a daily practice app for the SAT as well. I certainly would encourage your students to consider adding this app to their mobile device. It is certainly something that many students find particularly appealing. It features a daily practice question, and of course you can download that app to your iPhone or Android using the features and apps available at Google Play or the App Store. If you have that app installed, one of the things you can do with it is actually take a practice exam, one of the practice exams we noted earlier that are available on Khan Academy. And if you, as a student, wish to, you can actually print, as you see here, a copy of the answer sheet, and you can actually complete your test using your mobile device, but writing circling the ovals and the correct responses on the answer sheet, which would be more like genuine test conditions using paper and pencil. But then we can actually use the app once again to score that paper answer sheet by taking a photograph of it and applying it to the app, and in 6 seconds the entire practice exam will be scored for that student, and they will see in the app their total score. They'll see a complete analysis of their answer explanations and the choices they made. So it's a wonderful way for them to get immediate feedback on one of their practice tests should they use that device to do so. So I want to thank you again for joining us. We just wanted to share with you again some introductory items to the use of official SAT practice at Khan Academy. Should you have any questions about this tool or any other resources College Board provides to assist students in preparing themselves for the SAT, you are more than welcome to contact me directly. My name again is Stephen McHugh with the College Board, and my email address is smchugh@collegeboard.org. I look forward to connecting with you, and we do hope that we'll have a very successful year this year in Idaho, getting many students prepared well for the SAT this April. So thank you very much for your time, and best wishes.